I'm your host, Chris Barbee of Alumni Relations. On this edition of 10 or 10, we welcome Dr. William Washington III, the TRIO Student Support Services Director at Grand Valley. Born and raised in Flint, Dr. Washington studied at Grand Valley for both his undergraduate and graduate degrees, then went on to Eastern Michigan University for his PhD in educational leadership. Previously, he worked as a graduate assistant in housing and worked his way up to assistant director of housing, so he knows his way around Grand Valley. He believes in the 5 F's: faith, family, finances, friends, and fraternity, which reflect his life. He is married with 3 children and a member of the Phi Beta Sigma fraternity. Dr. Washington is a flourishing entrepreneur and co-owner of a local fitness center and has goals of owning his own restaurant. He does his best to enhance the educational experience for each and every one of his students that he comes in contact with. Quite an impressive record you got there.
Well, thanks, Chris, for having me. I appreciate it. I love Grand Valley, and I'm a Laker for a lifetime.
That's what we like to hear. Well, let's get started with the questions. Number 1, what is your next professional goal that you want to check off your list?
My next professional goal would probably be centered around inclusion, equity, and Black male success. Developing some program or assisting with some programs to increase retention of our Black males. Part of the reason I come to Grand Valley and came back to Grand Valley was for that, to help. But I think next I'd like to add that and then potentially look at possible VP positions in the Midwest.
What's the best concert you've ever been to?
The best concert I've ever been to would be LL Cool J here at Grand Valley as an undergrad. We had a series of concerts as an undergrad here at Grand Valley, and that by far was the most fun I've had at Grand Valley.
What year is that taking us back to?
Oh my goodness, that has to be 93, 92, somewhere in there.
So kids watching today may not even know who LL Cool J is.
They may not. Definitely may not.
What's the one thing people would be surprised to know about you?
I think most people would be surprised to know that I collect comic books, and I have a pretty large selection. I inherited my father's comic book collection and then my own, so I have a large comic book collection. And I like reading comic books and watching animated cartoons around superheroes.
What is, actually, you're led right into my question. I think you might have been cheating and looking at my questions beforehand. So, because my next question was, what is your favorite cartoon growing up?
I was Super Friends, my favorite cartoon.
That was like Saturdays at 8. The Justice
Yes.
League. Yeah.
Yes. The only time in my life where I got up early on Saturdays. The only time.
Well, you and I can definitely get along because that was my favorite too. So that was a great one, and that kicked it off for the rest of them. You know, for the rest of the Saturday morning. So with my honeycombs in front of me. So. Question number 5: when you open your restaurant, what is the dish everyone will be talking about? And when I said when you open your restaurant.
You know what? I have, I have a 3 meat, 3 cheese spaghetti that I want that to be kind of my premier dish. So I'd have that.
Got a name for it yet?
I don't. Meaty Monster, I've called it Meaty Monster. Cheesy Chuck, because I've been liking to Charles Barkley. But I don't have a name for it yet. I'll have to get one.
Cheesy Chuck, I love that one. Hey, and you could get him to endorse it too.
Probably could.
Yeah, you know he would. So he's always talking about food on TNT. So, what show broke all binge watching records for you?
I would say, since I don't get to watch TV a lot anymore, it was Marvel's Shield. Marvel's Shield. And the other ones have been shorter versions, but Shield has been the longest running that I've seen. So 5 or 6 seasons that I've been trying to binge.
Okay.
So Agents of Shield.
Gotcha. I am not successful until I help the next person be successful. Why this quote for you?
I'm a product of a large family. So I have a large extended family. My father had 6, 7, 8 siblings. My mom has 8 or 9 siblings. It's approximate because I'm probably not exact. And then my stepdad it was 16 of them. And so I grew up with a lot of support, and all of my family did everything in their power to make sure that we were successful, the next generation. So it didn't matter what they were doing. If we needed help with something, I never had a problem getting help from aunties, uncles. I'm the oldest of 7 in my family. So, and I was always asked to help my siblings. So it's kind of bred in me. If I'm not helping somebody else, then what is my purpose here? My purpose isn't just to make myself good or make myself look good or be the best. It's to make sure that I am the best because I can help somebody else. If I'm not bringing anybody up behind me, then it's a waste of talent, waste of space for me. And I don't feel successful if I'm not helping somebody.
Well, thank you for that belief, and hopefully people watching this will take note of that and follow your path. So thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Let's say you're in the gym. What machine do you want to start with, and what machine do you end with?
I usually start with the recumbent bike. I have a bad back, so I do recumbent bike because it helps my back, but I need to get the heart rate up. And the last time I did a full circuit, I ended up on the bench press machine, and I tore a rotator cuff. So I'm gonna have to change that last one and do something else. So bench press was the last one, so I don't know what I'll switch it to this time.
Okay. What is your favorite season of the year?
I like the fall. It's the one season where I don't have to deal with my allergies as much.
Okay. Being from Flint, I've got to end with your favorite Flintstone. Lateen Cleaves, Morris Peterson, Charlie Bell. I'm going to throw Antonio Smith in there, even though he graduated in 1999. Or Fred or Wilma.
You know what? I'm going to go with my brother, Leon Derricks. People don't know. He came out. He was a runner-up for Mr. Basketball. He also played at U of M with the Fab Five and then transferred to University of Detroit and followed Perry Watson to U of D. So I would say my brother is probably my favorite Flintstone that played basketball. And he's friends with all those guys. So they're upset that they can kick rocks, but I have to pick my brother.
Well, hey, I appreciate your time today, and I'm looking forward to that cheesy chuck dish that you're going to be serving up. I want to be there when the restaurant opens, and I want to be a part of that action, okay?
Well, I appreciate it. Thanks. And you will be.
All right. Well, appreciate your time, and thank you for all that you do for the students at Grand Valley, and hope your school year gets off to a great start.
Thank you. It's not a problem. I love being here. I love my students.
All right. Take care.
You as well. Have a good one.